Hi there, my name is Rob Nellis, and I'm a founding partner of Buyers+Cellars Wine Purveyors. I've also been on the curation team since day one. Been a wine instructor for about 25 years and a sommelier in restaurants for about 20 of those years. Today, I'd like to chat a little bit about one of our small family owned wineries, Casa de Cello, and particularly their property in Vino Verde, Quinta de San Juan. One of their wines, one of my favorite wines in our portfolio, is Terroir Mineral. And this is an exciting electric white wine made of Lurero and Aveso. For the longest time, Vino Verde wines in Ontario were of middling to poor quality, and most of them were spritzy. They were known for their value, more so for the quality. But when we went to find a winery in Vino Verde, we were looking for something that's going to talk about the very distinctive character of the grapes from the region. The two grapes in this wine, Lurero and Aveso, are kind of interesting in that Lurero is similar to Riesling. It has intense aromatics, and it has a perfect punchy acidity and extremely well balanced between the fruit and acidity. Aveso, maybe not as balanced, still has intense aromatics. It's more similar to Alvarinho, also known as Albarino in Spain, in that it has very intense aromatics, but on the palate is a little bit more linear, a little bit more citrusy. The combination of the two wines allows for a wine that's got a very rich mouthfeel, but with that fresh, biting acidity that cleanses the palate, makes your mouth water, makes you want to go back for another glass. Vino Verde, in and of itself, is quite interesting. That the region is termed both for the wine itself being green in that it's young, and for the fact that it's quite verdant in their vineyards. Most vineyard areas you'll see will have a lot of browns mixed in with those greens. A lot of ground is seen, and not a lot of crop cover. Whereas in Vino Verde, it's green all year round, even in the winter, though winters in Portugal are nothing like what we experience in Ontario. The undergrowth to the vineyards is cared for, and they grow all sorts of crops in and around the vineyards. In fact, a lot of vineyards back in the day, and still to this day, grow on high pergolas. They wrap the vines around trees or even telephone poles because the ground underneath was important for growing crops. This obviously has been changed a little bit with the success of Vino Verde, especially in recent years, as Portugal's GDP and their economy has risen, so has the demand for their wines. Casa de Cello is still a tiny little winery. They're doing things the right way, in my opinion. Small, hands-on. They do most of the work in the Quinta de San Juan, in a 14th century monastery that has been repurposed as a winery. Everything in there is done by hand, including the bottling. Tiny batches of estate fruit only. The ground and soil is granite overlain with schist, as well as a little bit of sand. And this allows for aromatics and fruit, as well as making sure that there's still that strong mineral element. And in this wine, there's so much minerality, it comes across as saline or almost like a salty character in the mid palate of the wine, as well in the finish. This wine is perfect with things like fish tacos, picnic lunches, sipping with seared scallops or maybe shrimp kebabs, but it can also be chilled well and enjoyed on a patio. It's about 33 degrees Celsius out there today, so I might be doing that myself a little bit later on. The other thing I want to chat a little bit about is the Vino Verde region in general. This is a region on the climb. Those spritzy wines are still going to be a thing, but there's a lot of serious winemaking going on right now. And winemakers have a ton of tradition, but there hasn't been a lot of exploration or investment in this region until recently. And now you're starting to see some absolutely killer wines coming out of the region. Casa de Cello was one of the first to come to market with still wines, but I think you'll be seeing them a lot in the years to come. If you're going to put this on by the glass, one of the best parts of having such a high acid wine is that it's going to hang in a little bit longer than some of the other white wines once you've opened it. We all know that sometimes you don't sell through that bottle the first day. So you want it to stay as fresh as possible. Not everybody has an enomatic, and you don't want to Corvin a mid-priced to low-priced wine like this. So this kind of high acid wine is going to sit in your fridge for a day, even two, and still come out fresh and exciting. Whereas something like an oak aged Chardonnay is going to get a little bit more stale tasting. When you're selling this to customers, however, that fresh, vibrant acidity makes you want to have another glass, and it's kind of light bodied, or the perception of light bodied. So it doesn't weigh down the palate. It doesn't club it to death, and you're good to go for two, maybe even three glasses in a seating. Great wine to share, and it looks great on a table with its bright green label. It's also a wine that almost nobody hates. So it might not be your favorite wine, but it's definitely not going to be your least favorite. It's bone dry without being austere. It's got enough fruit that those who drink off dry wines are going to enjoy it. But it's lean enough that people who gravitate towards things like Veneto Pinot Grigio or wines like Sauvignon Blanc will quite enjoy. It's got that freshness and vibrancy that is the calling card for Vino Verde, but it doesn't have any of the spritz, and a lot of people don't like the spritz. The other thing is this wine is reasonably priced. It's a great value for the consumers as well as for the restaurants, and it gives a great price to quality ratio. If you're looking for a little bit more information on the Vino Verde region, they have some fantastic websites that you can visit. And our website has a fair amount of information about the Quinta de San Juan. Enjoy this wine, share it with friends, and we'll talk to you later. Have a great day.